It's week 3 in the Bad Quarterback League, the league where you pick bad quarterbacks. And what happens if you don't pick bad quarterbacks? You end up on...
He's made a mess of it.
Wow, there were a lot of good scores. And even where there's not good scores, you still either didn't bench many points or your 4 teams suck so bad that even a 0 was your best score. The only person who stands out high above the rest is Mr. Jeff George. Not only did he pick his 2 worst teams, but look at those bench points. 65 from Washington and 17 from San Francisco. Luckily, the 49ers have one of those early buys next week. Maybe that will help you make better choices. Now it's on to top teams, the segment where turbushers learn how to pick better, and Exhibit A clearly shows, under the best category, that indeed the Kershers picked better this week. Oh, and if you glance at the worst category, you'll see quite a blunder indeed, with someone starting a team that scored negative. Tisk tisk, we can't have that. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the money baller who balls harder than all? Why, it's none other than Johnny Football. It's hard to say, given the short history of the 2019 league, whether or not deep analysis was part of Johnny's picks last week, but I think missing out on big points from Tampa in week 1 led him to research his 4th round pick, the Rams, a bit more, and it's been paying off. How many other people can say their 4th round pick has earned them 77% of their points? Now he just has to figure out Tampa and Zona. We've been talking way too much about turbushers. Let's go to a more pleasant topic and talk about Relegation Watch 2019. It seems the crystal ball did not need new batteries, and it's working quite well, as Mr. McNown is the proud new owner of a pregnant goose. And look, it's laid its first goose egg of the season this week. Here you go, I'll even give you a nice graphic of a goose, and you can earn more of these goose badges every time you score 0 or negative. Okay, let's get serious and talk Week 3 standings. Jay Cutler remains on top of Week 3 despite Miami having their worst BQBL performance of the year, but Cutler picked his way around 2 big negative scores and should have been an honorable mention on Moneyballing It. He gained a little ground on Wade Wilson, who also picked his 2 best teams, and actually has picked 5 of his 6 possible best starts to begin the season. He's only 10 points away from his highest possible score. That's pretty impressive. Taking over the bronze throne is Johnny effing Moxon after an outstanding showing by the Redskins and finally some BQBL points out of Arizona. The negative 15-point hole he once called home is long gone now. In 4th is Tyler Luke Falk fanboy Pauco, who finally got a good week from the Jets. Like Wade Wilson, Pauco has picked 5 of his 6 best starts so far and is only 23 points from his highest possible score. It's too bad the Jets are on a bye next week and might play an actual quarterback for their next game. Dropping from 3rd to 4th and now to 5th is TSS Win. Oh, I forgot an S. Who cares? He was helped out by a midweek benching in New York, but they still only managed to score 2 total BQBL points for him after a 4-touchdown performance, followed by a game-winning drive. Ouch! Fortunately, you still pick your top 2 teams, but if Daniel Jones continues to pull off stunts like this, it's going to be a rough year. Just sitting with his feet dipping in the relegation zone pool is Tony Banks, who had his best score of the season and needed it. Mr. Relegation Watch has 6 starts now in the young 2019 season, and 4 of them have been 0s. This week in particular, 3 of your 4 teams scored 0s. It's like you have more than one bye week. One of your teams going to show up and play. Chris Winkie dropped from 5th to 8th after starting the ever-so-competent Colts. I wouldn't worry too much just yet. 21 more points and you'd be back in 5th place.
Oh joy, now I get to talk about you guys again. Chad is way out in front and picked his top 2 teams, followed by Ryan Leaf, who was tied for the best score of the week. Leaf is another one of those guys who finally made a pick this week that wasn't the best possible outcome, so he's 5 out of 6. But really here, who's going to start New England against Miami? No one. Not even Caleb Turbush himself is that dumb. Then we got Tim Tebow time, who always has Denver for some reason. Have I talked about this before? Is it because that was the last team Tim Tebow played for? I'll probably mention it again next week too. You know it's bad when a kindergartner can add your BQBL scores like Steve Grogan's 2 and 6. Jamarcus Russell's total score between his 4 teams this week was a negative 18. And Colt Quinn Wheaton is playing this season on hard mode with the lowest potential score of both leagues. Good luck with that.